Welcome back to the Dwarven Tavern. I am your host, Dr. Jeff Goins.
And I'm Lyric with Xena.
Lyric and Xena. And we are reviewing this game that we got from Gen Con.
It is called Sequence.
Sequence.
An exciting game of strategy.
It's a strategy game. It is...
I don't know how much it's worth.
Recommended by Bill Barrett.
Whoever that is.
I apologize if I don't know who that is. From Jack's Games. Jack's Games. And as I try very ineffectually to get the box apart. There we go. There we go. Opposite corners. That's how you do it. This is a game for 2 to 12 players. And it doesn't look like a big enough game to have 12 players, but it really is. Because you have either 4 teams of 3 or 2 teams of 6.
No, I think that the teams...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I thought it said you could only have teams up to, like, 3 players.
Yeah, you can have 2 or 3 players. Anything over that has to be divisible by 2 or 3. So you can have 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, or 12 players.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it was 12 players, you could have 2 teams of 3 or... 3 teams of 3 or 2 teams of 6. Math...
Is important.
Is important to know. So, what is the game? Well, it's a card game, very obviously.
With some tiles.
The hardest part of this game was mixing 2 decks, because it comes with 2 complete decks of cards, and you're supposed to mix them together, and it hurts.
Very hard.
It hurts my OCD, which I don't even think I have. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get it all.
One hand.
I'm busy, as you can see, holding a precious child.
You playing. Oh, I didn't even. So, the premise of the game is to create 2 sequences of 5 in a row with your chips.
As the green displays here.
Is the green displays there? Okay. So I was green. Lyric was purple, blue.
It's blue.
That's blue. It looks like
It's
purple.
blue. It's navy blue.
Okay.
You blind bitch.
Yeah, colorblind. It is true. And so you deal out the cards.
Oh, there's also red.
Yeah, there's red chips.
Which, in this case, since there was just 2 of us, we use the red markers as the free spaces, which are in each corner.
So you shuffle the cards and you deal them out, and the person he plays a card. He or she plays a card from the deck at your leisure. And if you've got like a 4 of spades, you place your chip on that and you try to use what you have in your hand to assemble 2 sequences of 5 to win the game.
It's a very simple game. The rules differ depending on how many people there are. For example, you deal a certain amount of cards for each team. So, for example, there was 2 of us, so we had 7 cards each. For a 12-player game, each person only gets 3. So it's, even though you're, trying your best to win the game, it's very limited the more people that you have.
Yeah.
That being said, there are also different rules for the jacks.
Yep, you got, there's no jacks on the board. So if you get a 2-eyed jack, which I just pulled off the top of the deck, like Magica. If it's a 2-eyed jack, it's a wild card, so you play it and you can put it on any board, any piece that you want. If it is a 1-eyed jack, and I don't have the there's something I think. The 1-eyed jack here is it's called the anti-wild card, and you play this and you can remove one of your opponent's chips.
Which cost me a sequence or 2. Something else that is not allowed is when you have team members. For example, if Xena were on my team, then I would not be able to tell her where to put her card or which card she should use. Or,
yeah, because you're not allowed to coordinate your attack.
The rule against that is that once you have done so, each member has to forfeit a card.
Ooh.
And then, of course, when you've depleted all the cards, because chances are it could happen, then you just reshuffle the discard decks and you start again.
Wow.
Then it's just a matter of time.
Yep, it is a matter of time. After playing this card, it's fast paced. The rules are simple. The pieces are few, even though there's a lot of chips. There's a few separations. There's approximately 4 piles of pieces. Cards, green, blue, and red chips.
Yeah.
And a board. And I like that. This would be easy to transport and play.
This is definitely a game for someone who wants a little bit of challenge when it comes to gaming. For example, some of our Taverneers love to play the game Go, and this had a very similar feel. It's not the exact same thing, but it had a very, very similar feel to that, where it's just, you're trying to find the best place to put your markers. And I'm really bad at those games, so it's
obviously because I won the game and she hadn't even completed a single sequence.
It's because you kept foiling me.
Well, that's part of the strategy. So,
and then something else I wanted to mention is that when you hold a card that as we mentioned, there's 2 of each card on here. If you're holding a card that has markers on both of it, that's called a dead card, and you just trade that in for a new one.
Right. That's called the dead card.
Yeah. So very simple, these are the
super straightforward rules. Yeah.
Very simple game, very easy. It was very fun, even though we spent most of the game in silence, trying to figure out where to put our next marker.
No, crosstalk is not allowed.
The most we did was, damn it!
Damn it, bitch. That's about it.
That type of stuff.
Yeah. But, I would definitely play this game again.
No, yeah, me too. Its replayability is, it's up there.
It's because it's like a card game, and it's not overly complex.
It's nice and simple.
Like people trying to... The thing that I hate most is when you get a game that looks like it was people trying to invent a game. It didn't have an idea for a game, and they were doing a game, so they tried to make a game out of something that was stupid, and
this is just...
invented stupid shit to make the game happen.
This is just a nice, clean, and simple, fun game that you could break out on a weekend, or... we have a gaming group that we like to go play board games with. I would totally take this with us.
Heck yeah.
I like it a lot. And I'm definitely going to introduce it to the other Taverneers and see what they think.
Yeah. They have a deluxe edition sequence, a travel sequence, a jumbo sequence, a sequence numbers, which that would be fun, and then a sequence Jewish edition.
And they've got the Bible sequence over here,
Bible
too.
sequence, yeah.
So they've got a variety of these types of games, too.
Interesting, that's an interesting set of flavors for a sequence game. So, I think this game, it's a small game, but it's not a little game. Or it's a little game, but it's not a small game. It's just, it's fun. I like it a lot, so I'm probably going to give it, I have no reason not to give it 5.
I don't find any, everything that was important to the game was explained. Everything that could be confusing was...
Yeah, it was well written instructions, which is
very
important.
Articulate. I really enjoy... Honestly, I just really enjoy the simplicity of it. It's a nice, fun game, yet it somehow managed to have enough strategy to stump me.
Yeah, it was...
Bizina.
It was enough strategy to be able to go to your opponent, but
and go,
not,
oh shit.
Yeah, but it's not enough strategy to make your opponent want to pull out some sort of weapon and use it on you.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, but it wasn't frustrating. So yeah, 5 axes for this.
I'm also gonna give it 5 axes. The inability to keep the deck separate is a big...
That was an OCD thing.
It's a big pet peeve of mine to make sure that the pieces remain organized,
pristine.
But that's obviously
I'm the kind of guy that gets upset when somebody bends the cards to shuffle them.
Right.
That irritates me to no end.
So it's not... I don't think it's worth detracting any points for that, because that's part of the game.
It's part of the game.
These decks were made specifically for this game, so it's not like it's you know,
Yeah.
you're bending cards that you need for other things, or shuffling
Right.
cards that shouldn't be shuffled. Also, I love the back of this.
Yeah, very marbly.
Very marbly.
Okay.
So, I'm also going to give it 5, which means that the game of Sequence has 5 axes from the Tavern.
I don't know how much it costs, but you can get it from jacksgames.com. You could probably look it up on Amazon.
And
or
check out
whatever.
any of the other renditions of this game. They look like they had a bunch.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there you go. So, with that being said, Sequence, 5 axes from both of us, 2 to
Really
12
good game.
players, ages 7 through adult. I don't know if there's not a choke warning or anything like that, but it's small. Got tiny little pieces. The poker chips are like half the size of a normal poker chip,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. But you might want to keep anybody under 7 years old or that one friend that you never talk about away from them, because some people like to get them in your mouth.
Barry. Autoplay Barry.
Autoplay Barry. Yeah. So yeah, Sequence, 5 axes. Jack's Games. Look them up. Tell them we sent you. They might let you buy a copy.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm Dr. Jeff Goins.
I am Lyric.
And on behalf of the entire cast and crew of the Dwarven Tavern, we wish for you to want for nothing but adversity.
Adventure.
Adventure, not adversity. And at first I feared it,
Then I charged.
Thanks for watching now, and we'll see you next time. Then.